Welcome to the studio, and I'll tell you what, we are here in the studio, but Frank is over in the control booth. Frank, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Of course, we're working on our new technology here, and technology is awesome. Like, I just got to say that, right, Frank? I mean, you know that already.
Yeah, if I can figure out which button to push and all that fun stuff, but that's okay.
Lots of buttons. Okay, so speaking of technology, we've been working really hard on upgrading our stuff around here. We're going to be seeing a whole lot more of this stuff all over the place. But there was a list that I saw. It was Time Magazine's top 10 of everything, but they had a list of top 10 gadgets that I thought was pretty cool.
You know, I love me some gadgets.
Hey, I know you do. I definitely know you do. So we want to go through and talk a little bit about some of these gadgets that are the top 10 of the new gadgets for that happened in 2015. The very first one I think is very cool. It's the Light L16. Now, a little box is a camera. There are basically, it will take a whole bunch of pictures at the same time. Each image, the L16 uses up to 10 of its lenses at once and blends those shots into a high-quality amalgamation. Shooters can also adjust the depth of field of their image after it was taken, which is impossible with most cameras. I would love to have one of those because that's like, yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Well, you're the vain one, but that gadget would be, you know, pretty good for the vain part of you.
Yeah, nothing vain about it. That's like a technical marvel right there. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. The next one, you ought to love this one because you're a big computer nerd. Samsung introduced the 16 terabyte solid state drive.
I just had a heart attack. That is absolutely amazing. 16 terabyte solid state drive. That is ridiculously large amount of space.
And as it says there, just to compare, for those of you who don't speak that language, an entry-level iPhone stores less than 2% of that. So
yeah,
that's a pretty big deal.
That's like when you buy a brand new computer these days, it usually comes with 1 terabyte. That is a lot.
The next one, this is something I would have loved as a kid. And this is why I kind of wish technology would have been a little more advanced when I was a kid. But you know what, we made do. We took things apart and put them back together. Sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. But this kit would have been really good. It's called the Little Bits, Gizmos, and Gadgets Kit. Parents are hearing all the time about how important it is for their children to learn STEM skills. Of course, the science, technology, engineering, and math. One way to help young ones get some hands-on tech time is with Little Bits, Gizmos, and Gadgets Kit, a pack of color-coded circuits, control boards, and wiring that helps kids learn how their video game consoles and smartphones actually work under the hood. How awesome is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I'm not a kid. Well, I am. Some people would say that I am. But
You're a kid at heart.
I want one of those. Like, that would be cool to play with, right?
Right.
The next one on the list is something to keep bicyclists safe. The Garmin Varia. I hope I'm saying that right. But it helps us prevent bicycle-related deaths by giving bicycle riders basically a radar that tells them when a car is approaching. For anybody who's been properly riding their bikes, now you know there are certain rules that say you shouldn't be riding on the sidewalks and such, so you're riding in the street and you know, you want to stay safe. This is something that could definitely help you out.
Well, they be safe, but also the drivers also need to be safe. And when you see those little bicycle things painted on the street or the bicycle route sign, those sharrows, they get that full lane if you're in there. So you need to either get over in the other lane, let them pass, you know, graciously, or, you know, just be careful when you see a bicycle or even a motorcycle. I mean, that's not necessarily the same, but that's meant for when they're like, when someone's going to can open their car door and a bicycle's coming by, they can crash into that. You know, it's not, it's not good.
And this technology, it doesn't have the price listed on there, but you know, I don't know. If you did ride your bike a lot, I can imagine how that would be very valuable. The next one on the list, number 6 here, the DJI Inspire. And for those of you who are following what's going on with drones, this is kind of the second evolution in the Phantom drone. That's one that Max here from Talk About Topeka, he had one a while ago. He still does. And a lot of our footage that you see is he's actually shot with that. But this is kind of like the next level of that. It looks a little more, as this thing it says, it looks like it's some kind of alien thing sent here to record our planet. So I say that about a lot of things. Sometimes I think there's a lot of aliens around.
Yeah, well,
mainly like Frank, right?
Not an alien. I don't have a. I was born in the United States. You know?
Not what I meant. Not what I meant. Don't go there, right? Okay, so there's the other half of this list. We are going to take a break before we come back to it. But so far on the list, Frank, what's your favorite thing? You've got the drone. You've got the bike thing. You've got the kits for, you know, kids to play with. You got the big 16 terabyte hard drive, and you have the light L16 camera. What do you pick?
My guaranteed number 1 pick: 16 terabyte solid state drive. That's unheard of. I can't wait. I'm sure it's like $30,000, but you know, whatever.
I doubt that. I actually bet it's pretty, I don't know. You know what? That's called Google. My vote so far on the list was the one they had listed at the top at 10. It was the light L16 camera. I want one so bad. So if anyone would like to send one to me, please do. I would be happy to take one. But don't go away. We have more coming up right after this.